Forecast today, mostly cloudy, a high of 40. Tonight, partly cloudy and breezy, a low of 35. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle, Breast, and Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I guarantee Edison and Elon, they all had times in their life where, like, this is, like sitting in math class. Like, they're doing arithmetic when they really should be doing statistics.
What was that all about?
I said they were interested in me.
For what?
You know, TV show.
Your own show?
Yeah, I guess so.
They want you to do a TV show?
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I just want to be clear. You're putting yourself in the same category as one of the most famous innovators, inventors in history in Thomas Edison.
I mean, I've come up with some pretty good inventions and thoughts the years I've been doing radio.
You want to go with me to NBC?
Yeah, I think we really got something in.
What do we got?
An idea.
What idea?
An idea for the show.
I still don't know what the idea is.
It's about nothing.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride and she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth.
Hey, Chew.
Yo.
Is there anything you like more than people to agree with you?
I like that.
You do, don't you?
I really do.
I don't know. He does and he doesn't.
He doesn't?
Yeah. There are times where, like, people start, like, agreeing with him and he just jumps to the other side.
Yeah, that's true. Like the other day when he was like, I'm starting to come around on Joe Barry. I heard yesterday you're dropping the Carol. You're dropping it.
Dropping the Oh, Joe Barry. Boom. Nah, I think we negotiated that at the end of the show, right? I said, what did we call him, Gabe? My bad, but you still suck.
You're keeping the Carol.
Yeah, so his apology to Joe Barry was, my bad, but you still suck.
Okay. All right. It's not. Where does that fall on the scale of apologies that
Pretty far down.
that you guys determined yesterday on the show? And if you missed any of that, you can find it on Wisconsin On Demand, wherever you get your podcast. So I know that Chewy likes it when people agree with him. And I found somebody yesterday who agrees with Chewy on pumping the brakes on Jordan Love. Joshy, do we have that sound of the person yesterday agreeing with Chewy that we need to pump the brakes on Jordan Love and projecting him to be the next great thing?
Have you been surprised with what he's done over the last couple weeks here? Kind of like, you know, confirming that, hey, maybe the Packers do finally have this next guy after Aaron and he is going to be the guy for the future?
No, I'm not. And he's playing especially the last 3 games, he's playing outstanding, but he's in his first year starting. Like, as well as he's playing, can we not crown him right now?
Yeah.
For his own sake. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because we shouldn't do that to kids. We shouldn't crown him, and we shouldn't cancel him.
Darius, just crown him.
Yeah, I'll crown him. Okay, go ahead. That's fine. I love Jordan. I think he's going to be a great player in the league for a long time. Yeah. But can we let him play his career? Mm-hmm. Like, and it's both sides too. People. A great example is Geno Smith. People just kicked him out of this town.
They wrote him off,
and then he went and was a backup for 6 years. And then he went to a Pro Bowl. And sometimes it's situation. Sometimes it's change of scenery. Sometimes it's figuring something out. I do believe you can get better at accuracy because you throw the football from the ground up. So you learn how to have great fundamentals. Everything else, when you sync those together, everything else is going to be better. So, am I surprised by the way Jordan's played? No. Am I happy for him? Hell yeah. You know, I think there's, you know, and there's some people that probably like this, but there's some people probably thinking that I was rooting against the Packers this year, rooting against Jordan.
All right, enough. They're victimizing.
Is that our guy?
That's your guy. That's your guy. That's Aaron Rodgers yesterday on the Pat McAfee show. He agrees that we need to pump the brakes on crowning Jordan Love as the next great thing. And I thought you would appreciate that Aaron Rodgers agrees with you that we're moving too fast. We're doing too much.
Yeah, but you got to take what he says with a grain of salt because is there an ulterior? How do you tell it? Whatever the word is, ulterior mode? Gabe, help.
No. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Is it because I'm the greatest and no one is ever going to be as good as me, and don't you dare take my crown and give it to Jordan Love? There's that part of it in me, so that's kind of like he's half agreeing with me.
Ulterior motive. Go ahead, Gabe.
Ulterior motive.
Come on.
How much longer did you think he was going to go?
The rest of the show.
No,
Yeah.
he would not have. He would have forgotten it and moved on.
It bugged him enough. He would have come back to it.
Do you feel that at all in that response from Aaron, or do you think it's genuine?
I do not. I feel that sounds pretty genuine to me. When he starts talking with a little bit of a quicker cadence like that, to me, he's not really thinking about what he's saying. He's just kind of, again, this is what you do when you've had Aaron Rodgers in your life for 15 years. You kind of, okay, when he's not, because there are times where he starts talking slowly, and he kind of pauses as he's talking. And you can tell he's trying to make sure he's carefully making sure he says the right thing. There, he's just kind of talking ball. He's talking football about, hey, yeah, this guy's great. But also, I've thought this for a long time, like, hey, maybe we shouldn't just say every young player is the next best thing or the next worst thing.
Well,
there is a middle ground.
And I like the look, I love it when Aaron Rodgers talks ball. I wish he would talk ball all the time instead of all of the other noise and conflict and whatnot that he does sort of delve into. When he talks ball, it's brilliant. It's insightful. And what he was talking about with Jordan Love there was from the bottom up, right? Being a quarterback from the bottom up, from the feet up. And when you watch video and you see people break down film, they talk about how right now, one of the things that is holding Jordan back, and again, prior to the last 3 games, because it has gotten incrementally better each week, was his footwork. And sometimes getting a little happy feet in the pocket and whatnot. And so that's probably what Rodgers is seeing when he's talking about, like, hey, it's still going to take time. There's still going to be an evolution, and his accuracy will continue to get better as his footwork gets better. I love it when a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who has all of those reps under center, who has seen 100 million, 1,000, 11 gazillion plays in his lifetime, says, here's what I'm seeing on the field. I actually think there's a little bit of what Chewy is saying as well, in that, like, he doesn't think that Jordan is better than he was at that stage. So he was careful. He's kind of like saying, like, let's pump the brakes and give him an opportunity to continue growing, but also see if he genuinely will be the next great thing. This 3-game stretch is wonderful, Gabe, but we got 5 games left on the schedule, 5 or 6?
Yeah,
6, 5?
5, yeah.
And the math. Couldn't I just and the math? We got the math left on the schedule.
I think you have to ask permission, Jen.
Oh, to use that?
Yeah.
Trademark?
Chewy's got
Yeah.
trademark.
How much do I have to pay you if I want to use
No,
and
you
the
don't
math?
have to pay, just kind of,
A little shout out to Chew.
Wait.
It's kind of like a cup of sugar with the next door neighbor. Yeah, sure.
Is that a euphemism?
I don't know.
I was a little scared it was.
If you share a cup of sugar with the next door neighbor, do you tell your wife or do you just keep that between the two of you?
See, this leads me to another into another direction. I don't mind to digress.
What is going
But
on
Jen,
with you
you answer this question
is
for me.
Wednesday. This isn't Monday. What's going on with you today?
So my wife, Angie, is like a guy. We can all agree on that, right?
No.
I don't want to get into gender norms.
No, it's fine. It's
Can we
fine.
not?
She knows that she's kind of a guy.
I don't
But
even
what
know what that
Angie
means.
does
What
sometimes-
so she whizzes standing up? What are we talking about
She
here?
has before, after a few bevies, on a long drive home, with no restrooms or gas stations.
Yeah, we
inside.
got it.
So, Angie, because she grew up in a male-dominated business, that being the auto-body industry, she texts other men innocently. Right?
Okay.
Here or there. And she was told by one of the wives that, hey, you got to be careful when you text another woman's husband without including them in on it. Is that true, Jen? Or Gabe? Or Joshy?
No. But there are people who think that. So I
think it
understand
is.
where that's coming from.
Put it on the poll.
This is going to be a
I'd rather
little
not.
convoluted.
Why not?
So I imagine then that Angie doesn't get, feisty when I text you, right?
No,
you and I are
not at all.
colleagues. You and I are peers. So I can imagine that her being on the other side of that, she would understand that occasionally men and women who are colleagues and coworkers communicate via text messages.
But
There's
this
nothing
is
nefarious.
outside that scope.
How?
This would be not business but pleasure.
Well,
Is your wife texting?
Friendship, yes, friendship.
Yeah.
It is not necessarily pleasure. I think you should probably keep that word out of it. Because if she's texting for pleasure, Chew, I think you got some bigger issues on your hands.
I mean, Gabe has texted my girlfriend without me knowing, and I never thought twice about it. They were talking about actual friend things because we're all friends. Eric Name texts my girlfriend on her own. Sometimes I lead him there. If I don't want to go out and he wants to go out, I say,
hey, call, yeah.
Hey, text my girlfriend. She's willing to. I'm not going to.
So it's more about Angie's friend than it is about Angie. Is that what you're telling me, Joshy?
Yes,
all right,
100%.
Okay.
But also it could be about Angie's. It could be about the woman's husband too. It could be about him.
Yes.
Like, let's just not just put it on the lady for being paranoid. Maybe there's a history there that has led her down this path, right? How did we get down this path, by the way?
Know.
I'm here.
Good grief.
I'm here. That's how we got down the path.
It's me. Hi.
Usually I can piece these things together. Okay, how did we get to Chewy texting other?
No, we were talking about Rogers. We were talking about love. We were talking about him saying "pump the brakes."
I think it was unconnected. I think he just
Really?
had
Maybe jealousy.
It was connected
It might be
in
jealousy.
Chewy's brain.
Jealousy. That might be it.
Chewy's brain connect. No.
Was it texting?
But he was talking about
texting?
Rogers
Yes.
being unwilling to say crown him.
Chewy didn't realize that the person who was talking about, to Angie about, oh, you got to be careful. Chewy didn't realize that was about jealousy, so he didn't make that connection.
All right.
Wow.
I'm out on this.
All right.
Hey,
we
can I
go
pivot?
back.
Can I pivot one more time though, since we're already doing
we're
the old jumping tracks and whatnot? Did you hear what the word of the year is, Chew? Any chance? They announced it earlier this week, but I didn't know if you had heard.
Word of the year.
You
Would
know,
I
you've
know
got-
it?
That's what I don't know. So you've got younger kids, not younger like my younger kids, but kids who would be in this like era. I thought maybe they had told you. If I said Riz to you, what would you think? Riz.
I've heard you say that before.
No, I've never said Riz before.
I kind of think she has.
You
She
guys.
said glizzy.
Yeah.
Oh, glizzy.
And
this is coming from Chase, right?
Well, this is coming from Merriam-Webster, but
Hold on. What's a glizzy?
a hot dog.
Oh, okay. All right. What's a Riz?
So Riz is the word of the year.
The heck is a Riz? I gotta get on
It is
the
short
internet.
for charisma.
Oh, Joshy. Jeez.
Riz is. Oh, he's got Riz or she's got Riz.
There it is. Yeah. So have you heard it before then?
No, I have not.
Oh. Sometimes he's right on top of things and sometimes he's behind them. But in this
Most
case-
of the time, he's not on top of things.
So yeah, Riz is the word of the day. It means style, it means charm, attractiveness. It comes from charisma, like Joshy said. So if you say someone has Riz, it means you think that they're, I guess, cool. Are you not allowed to say cool anymore? Is cool? If I said something was cool, would they be like, okay, grandma?
Your kids might, yeah. But also, like, if you're running around using the word Riz, like, then the friends who are actually your age are going to be like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to act like you are not your age?
So what word can I use?
I mean, I think you just got to use cool.
Like, I feel like awesome has jumped the shark as well.
Why is awesome jump the shark?
I don't know, but if I say awesome about something, I still feel like people look at you sideways.
I don't know.
Awesome
These-
feels a little dated to me.
These kids today think they're a lot cooler than they actually are. They're really not. I mean, we were so much cooler back then. We were.
You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
You know?
Is it possible, Chew, that you, as a child, thought that you were cooler than you actually
I just
were?
think we were. We were the bomb.
There it is.
We were the bomb.
All right, Grandpa.
Yeah, that is. I think it's a fool's errand to try and keep up with children's fashion and children's lingo. I think there's usefulness to being aware of it, but to be in your 30s, 40s, and 50s and saying Riz, you stop.
Says the guy wearing the Carhartt hat this morning.
Yeah, it's working. It's working man's gear. I'm here working.
I know, but I feel like that has sort of gone into the other space now, right?
I've been
Like,
wearing Carhartt for as long as I've been
okay, there it is.
He's a Carhartt hipster.
Basically the same as Chewy saying kids think they're cooler than they are.
Well, but if he's been wearing Carhartt for a decade,
but then don't you have to not wear Carhartt because the cool kids all wear Carhartt?
What I wear.
Why, the kids wear Carhartt now?
I've worn
Oh,
Birkenstocks
yeah.
before they were a cool thing that
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
wears.
Me and you, Joshy. I love Carhartt. Yes. That and my boots. My boots are, what are my boots? My boots are the truck.
Ford?
The truck. No. Like heavy machinery.
the
Caterpillar?
Caterpillar?
Yeah, Caterpillar. I got
Get out
Caterpillar
of here!
boots.
You don't have Caterpillar
Yes,
boots.
I do.
Yeah, they do make those. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my dad might have a pair too, Chew.
Think we can work Riz into the show this morning?
No.
Why?
We shouldn't.
Why?
I'll turn off your mic.
You'll turn off my mic if I try to say Riz?
Yeah, it's doing too much.
Can you just at least try to tell me something that is relevant to sports right now that we could use Riz for?
Rizzo in Cleveland. That's where I go.
Tony Rizzo?
Yeah.
Yes.
At ESPN Cleveland?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, that was very inside baseball, Chew. Anthony Rizzo?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Is there anybody in the Milwaukee or in the Wisconsin sports space right now that has Riz?
Jordan Love.
Nah. He doesn't want Riz, though.
I don't know that I don't know.
He doesn't want it.
Doesn't have,
Quiet confidence.
that's not
Riz.
charisma. That's literally the opposite of charisma.
You don't have to be bombastic to be charismatic.
No, you don't have to be bombastic. That might be the extreme of the spectrum. But charisma, there's like an energy. There's like a vibe.
Confidence is charisma.
Yeah.
Confidence is charisma.
And Jordan's very confident.
He is. I agree. I just don't think he's charismatic. But again, I don't think that's not an indictment on him. That's just when I think Jordan Love, I don't think charismatic. Do you guys?
No.
Not Giannis.
Ooh, Giannis. Does Giannis have Riz?
He's past Riz.
Okay, you need to stop.
She's dead.
Yeah, I know. You need to cut her mic off.
Come on. You got two
She needs
now.
to be on timeout.
We got two now. We got Jordan Love we can put on the poll. We got Giannis we can put on the poll. I need two more Wisconsin athletes. I want to say who has the most Riz.
No.
Yes.
You're putting that up. I'm not typing
I
those
have
words
access to
Yeah, you do. I will
You
not.
know who's got Riz?
Why are you trying so hard
You
to
know
be
who's
younger than this is that's not who our show is.
Don't you see the skateboard on my shoulders, Gabe?
No, you know who's got Riz? Is Shaka.
Ooh.
No, he does not.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does.
Like,
you
you
know when
can't-
he got Riz? When he told that coach to shut the bleep up.
Sure, but and again, I love Shaka. Absolutely love it. And he's turned this into a part of his fashion statement. But when you're wearing the long sleeve tee underneath the polo,
but that's a style.
That's
and again, to Josh's point,
I mean,
if
it's
you
not a
stick
good
to your
style.
own style.
Yeah, but it's not a good style.
Gabe, I have seen you wearing azalea.
Yeah.
It's a good
Some
look.
of your golf outfits are.
And I'm not sitting here and go, look at my Riz, guys. You don't see me over here proclaiming myself that.
We've hit the.
You know who's got Riz?
One more person for the poll. Come on, one more person for the poll.
Justin from Cousins has Riz. And he'll be on today. I got to suck up a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, this feels a little convoluted if you ask me, buddy.
Yeah.
Called him a boozer last time he was on the show.
Yeah,
Was that wrong?
Yes, unequivocally.
Hey, we're up to a hell of a
At
start.
some point, we got to get you the numbers on just how much money Justin from Cousins is spending on this program. All right, we want one more person for the Riz poll. I want one more person. Apparently, I'm out on an island here this morning. One more person for the Riz poll, trying to figure out who has the most Riz in Wisconsin sports. Riz, the word of the year. It means charisma and a bunch of other things that I can't remember because I closed the tab. You told me we should talk about our friends over at Great Midwest Bank. Heck yeah, our friends over at Great Midwest Bank. They are grateful to be a part of the greater Milwaukee community since 1935. As a local community-owned bank, Great Midwest Bank is run by those who live right here in our community. That's why investing in our community is so important to them. They volunteer at local nonprofits. They help families to achieve the American dream, becoming homeowners in Wisconsin. So community is fundamental to who Great Midwest Bank is. Whether you're looking to open a new checking account or planning on buying a new home in the new year, please consider my friends over at Great Midwest Bank, a bank that puts community first. You can learn more at greatmidwestbank.com, greatmidwestbank.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound on 43, we've got a disabled vehicle at Keefe. It was blocking the center lane, then the right lane, and now it's off on the right shoulder. So we've got delays coming up from the Marquette up to that point. Northbound 4394 at Lapham, we do have an accident off on the right shoulder there. Southbound 43, slowing from before Silver Spring all the way down past Keefe. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly cloudy, a high of 40. Then tonight, partly cloudy and breezy, a low of 35. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play Whistling Straits and other Pro Tour courses, whatever the weather is, in one of their 12 state-of-the-art simulators.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 10 to 12 ounce or 10 to 12 count selected varieties Green Mountain or McCafe coffee, $6.99. 4 to 6 count selected varieties Northern Bath or Brawny Towel, $7.99. 57.6 ounce selected varieties Extra Laundry Detergent, $2.99. 1 pound selected varieties Land O'Lakes Butter, $4.99.
Look at those brats. You do tailgating right. Absolutely. Did you see the spread out there? You've got enough food to feed the entire lot. I'm splurging now and then hoping to win $700 in free groceries. $700? Yeah, it's all part of the 70th anniversary at Century Foods. No kidding. Next week, I'll do the shopping. Maybe I'll score $700 in groceries. All you need is the weekly code. It's on Century's Facebook or Instagram. Oh, I just remembered. I'll be out of town next week. Yeah, right, cheapskate.
Ends January 3rd.
Hi everyone, John Miller here from PDS, a Converge company. PDS has been providing technology solutions and transforming IT for area companies for over 30 years. Today, we are helping organizations integrate digital workplace strategies that are giving today's worker the true ability to work from anywhere as they balance work and life both securely and productively. And as HP's largest partner in the area, our combined solutions have never been more important. If you're struggling with this, know we stand ready to help. From ideation to transformation, we can help you evolve your work from anywhere strategy. Learn more at pdsit.net.
'Tis the season for celebrating at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Join them all throughout the holiday season for special events to get you in the festive mood. From spectacular brunch events to a holiday marketplace to one-of-a-kind dinner and a show experiences, St. Kate has a celebration happening nearly every week through the holiday season. Make a night of it and extend the experience by booking an overnight stay at the hotel. Special packages are now available. Make your plans today to celebrate the holidays with St. Kate. Learn more by visiting stkatearts.com/holidays.
With a local Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. They've been serving businesses and individuals in the area for nearly 15 years, including a long-standing commitment to the healthcare industry. From expansion to technology to reducing the risk of fraud, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions across the healthcare spectrum to meet the complex moments you're navigating. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
TBD.
No, not how this works. That's not how any of this
That's
works.
how you make content.
What do you mean? What do you mean? That's how it works for him.
What's TBD mean?
To be determined.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
To be determined.
Did you hear him say to be dumb?
To be dumb.
Did Joshy say that?
He did.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and there is a part of me that thinks that Chewy just enjoys taking us off track. So let's try to stay on the tracks for this one, guys.
Okay.
We got Adam Schefter coming up in just a few moments.
Do what you do, Chew.
I think conflict gonna conflict. My husband has this theory about like people who are in a certain profession, like lawyers. They ever hang out with a lawyer and all of a sudden they get into like legalese, and he always says lawyer's gonna lawyer. I think conflict gonna conflict, and I think Aaron Rodgers, for whatever reason, in the absence of conflict, wants to create conflict. From a psychological standpoint, if you ever talk to people in that space, sometimes when you exist in conflict as a child, it feels like your safe space. I am not diagnosing anybody here. I'm simply saying this is a theory about conflict going forward into adulthood. And so you then create conflict because you were so accustomed to it when you were younger that it feels like home. Quote unquote home, right? The proverbial home. So yesterday, Aaron Rodgers is on the Pat McAfee show. And the Jets right now are a mess, an absolute mess. And they're trying to figure out who is going to be their quarterback. So there was a report that was put out there by The Athletic saying that Zach Wilson was asked, hey, we're going to put you back in. You're going to be the quarterback. And Zach Wilson was reluctant to do so. And so yesterday on the Pat McAfee show, Aaron Rodgers was talking about how that being leaked to the media shows that the culture and the chemistry in New York is not good. I actually don't think we need to hear the sound from Rodgers.
It's long.
I'm not shocked. My question to you guys is this, and we're doing a little bit of like pulling the roof off and peeking in from above, but right now, which conflict and culture is better? The New York Jets or the Green Bay Packers?
It's clearly the Packers. But, I mean, I don't know how much Rodgers is to blame. I don't think he has helped.
I'm not saying he's to blame for the culture.
In terms of what's going on in New York, because, I mean, they were a dumpster fire last year.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been able to address and or fix any of it, right? I mean, they had players last year wearing T-shirts supporting their backup quarterback to play over...
Mike White, right?
Yeah, to play over Wilson. So I just don't think you would have that here in Green Bay. Certainly there have been issues at times in the past, and I think there are still some culture issues that exist in Green Bay. Just because they've won 3 in a row, just because they've won 4 out of their last 5, I still think there are issues between Gutekunst and LaFleur in terms of getting them on the same page, getting them working together. I think those things still exist. The winning can cover that up, but I think deep down, those are still some issues that exist. They haven't bubbled to the surface. But that being said, the Packers, I mean, their culture and everything is light years ahead of what the Jets are dealing with.
Yeah, but what makes Rodgers so bad is he's conflict to conflict, but he's also a control freak, which I don't think those two go hand in hand. Because he wants his cake and he wants to eat it too. Right? That's what makes him so toxic. And to Gabe, you really think there's still, I mean, winning cures everything or most things?
But I still,
you don't think they're fine?
No, I don't think. I mean, I guess fine. I prefer the relationship between the coach and general manager to be better.
But that's Murphy to blame because that's the structure.
Sure.
Because now you have two heads butting against one another, where before it was, hey, I'm your boss. I'm going to let you do what you want.
I mean, we'll see, Chew, because I guarantee this offseason, Matt LaFleur has ideas of types of players or a player or two specifically that he would like to have on his roster and try to get better. And we'll see if any of that feedback is heard. I mean, if they don't go to the scouting combine again, Chew, that's a huge red flag for me.
I think they'll be there. I genuinely believe that last year, part of them not being there was so they didn't say anything as they were in the midst of the Rodgers thing, trying to pull the trigger, trying to make that happen. It was like... Because people talk, right? We're seeing it, right? We're seeing people within organizations talk to reporters. Information gets out. I think that was to protect the sanctity of a pending deal, a deal that they were hoping they could make. That's what I think. I think they'll be there
but
this year.
But it's easy enough to avoid the media. I think there are some, and we saw it in the messaging.
Is it though?
What?
I mean, we're not seeing that in New York. It's not very hard to pierce what's going on inside the organization.
But but what I'm saying is if you go to the scouting combine, I think it's easy enough for coaches to go to places where reporters aren't allowed.
But we can get back to this, and we talked about apologies yesterday. Does LaFleur kind of owe Goody an apology? A soft apology? by saying, like, you were kind of right, I guess, about the young guys and shipping all the veterans off, where Goody would then have to say, well, it's because of your coaching. You're doing such a wonderful job. They could kiss and make out and, like, right? And it could all be fine.
I hope they make up versus make out, but, what to each their own.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying.
We got to get to Adam Schefter. He's next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I honestly have no idea which direction we'll go with him, but what else is new? Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on after this.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Some good news. Northbound 43, the issue we had at Keefe has been cleared out of the way, so we just are left with delays coming out of the Marquette up to Keefe. Southbound side slowing down from about Bender Road all the way down to Keefe. Eastbound 94 slowing down as you come out of the Zoo Interchange all the way to Hawley Road. And they're still working on this accident on northbound 4394 at Lapham. It is off on the right shoulder. Traffic is brought to you by the Bartolotta Restaurants, providing memorable experiences for nearly 30 years. Get the perfect holiday gift this season, a Bartolotta's gift card. Purchase yours at bartolottas.com. Check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. For today, we've got mostly cloudy skies with a high of 40. Tonight, partly cloudy and breezy, a low of 35. Weather is brought to you by Pickleball Kingdom Brookfield, the first professional level indoor facility in the Milwaukee area. Opening spring of 2024 at the Ruby Isle Shopping Center. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Get your game on at the Island Resort and Casino with first-round picks of your favorite slots and table games. Bring friends and watch your favorite team compete on big screens. Grab game day eats in T. McSee's Sports Bar. Or celebrate your team's victory in Horizon's Steakhouse. To book your game time at the Island Resort and Casino, call 800-682-6040 today.
We're about to tell you what we've chosen to be the 2023 WOW collection at Kessler's.
And all I can say is wow.
$898 buys her a pair of exotic inside-out diamond hoop earrings. 1 carat total weight of newborn created diamonds.
Inside out diamond hoops. Wow.
Another $898 buys her a tennis bracelet that will circle her wrist with glittering diamonds.
If you want that 1 carat tennis bracelet but with natural diamonds, it's just $15.98. Wow.
A 1/4 carat diamond cluster pendant dripping with natural diamonds, just $598.
We believe these are the lowest diamond prices we'll see in our lifetime.
4 carats total weight.
Did you say 4 carats?
I did indeed.
It's a wow engagement ring with 2 wedding bands that will fill any room with hot points of light like a disco ball.
4 carats total weight, just $3,998.
Wow.
Find the Kessler's nearest you
And see our extended holiday hours
at KesslersDiamonds.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. A couple years ago, my knee was acting up. As an athlete, I've played through pain before, but it was getting to the point where I couldn't compete in the sports I loved. I decided to check out Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. It's the best decision I've made. I felt no pressure to have surgery. That was important to me. We had choices. I ultimately did choose to have a procedure. I was in and out in just hours and back in action shortly after. I recommend meeting their doctors. Visit orthowisconsin.com today.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde, and I have the perfect gift idea for you. A custom holiday gift box filled with all your Kringle favorites from Racine Danish Kringles. Or you could also try the new Holiday Stick Sampler Pack featuring Winter Wonderland, Mary Berry, Gingerbread, and Santa's Cinnaberry. It's stick size and a great way to try all the favorite flavors of the season. So go to Kringle.com to order or call them at 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
Everyone's go-to source for all NFL news.
Adam Schefter teased some big breaking news. Adam, you've told us about it. What do we got?
Adam's on the phone.
Adam, we have some more.
Adam, you got more news? What do you got?
They're going with another move.
And he was the man who knows all, Adam Schefter.
And we're going to get right to some breaking news here that just came down. This tweet from Adam Schefter.
It's ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter.
The Bears look dead. The Vikings look dead. And so the division comes down to Detroit and Green Bay.
Adam Schefter on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. Also sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
Always great to have Adam Schefter hanging out with the show. We talk about Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. You guys can go to Brookfield or Pewaukee or McGuanago for their faster, easier, and less expensive alternative to the ER or urgent care. Guys, all the physicians are fellowship trained in specialty orthopedics. They are board certified or board eligible. They have advanced training in their respective fields. The Spine Center provides the highest level of spinal care from a team of board certified physicians, fellowship trained surgeons, and non-surgical specialists. They also offer on-site physical therapy, MRIs, outpatient surgical procedures, orthopedic ASAP clinic. There is a difference. Now, I can't tell if I'm hearing a busy signal in the tune that we have or a busy signal on the air. Is that in the music?
Yeah, it's in the music.
Sounds like a busy signal. Dude.
They kind of mixed it because, Schefter's calling people and, so it's kind of
brilliant
tied together there.
Do we have Adam Schefter? I'm watching him on the stream. He's flipping the phone. It's spinning around. It looks like one of those signs we talked about that I should have to hold outside of the Al McGuire Center for the bet that I lost with Ben Brust.
Do we have a date that you're doing that
I
for?
asked Benny where his uniform is. He said it's here at the Avenue so that I can anytime. Like I could do it today if we wanted to. We could run over there after the show and get that taken care of.
I'd pick a rainy day, Jen.
Why? I'm the one that has to stand outside.
I know, but rainy day means less foot traffic.
I mean, it's going to exist on social anyway, so plenty of people are still going to see it.
Yeah.
That's the fear?
Well, that's the reality.
Okay.
All right, let's get to Adam Schefter. I can't see him on the stream, but I trust that he is there. Good morning, Adam. How you doing today?
Good morning, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. How you doing? We tried to call in. It was a difficult connection, so we're doing it on the phone instead.
All right, no problem. Let me ask you this right out of the gates. We all watched the Packers game against the Chiefs this weekend. We all know what happened in the final minute of that game. Does the NFL have an officiating problem?
Oh, the NFL has had an officiating problem. It's not like it's new. It's that you see it happen this past weekend in a primetime setting in the way that it did. And so now people are saying, oh, there's an official problem that I could tell you most coaches, front offices, players, they would say this has been there for years. And I've had people talk to me about it this week, call me up unsolicited. And, the analogy they've used is they've said basically coaches are in that building 70, 80, 90 hours a week, every week, getting ready for Sunday. Players in that building, 50, 60 hours a week, getting ready for Sunday. Officials are doing their day jobs before they fly into the game, and the league thinks that they spend about 10 hours a week, maybe, although this person said to me it's maybe 2 getting ready for the game. Another analogy that another person used was like this. They said to me, what's your golf handicap? I said, you don't want to know. It's terrible, like a 22, 23, 24. They said, okay, if you worked on your game 40 hours a week, every week, do you think that you would be able to lower that 22 to, let's just say, I don't know, a 17, an 18? Probably, if I put a lot of time in. Right. Do you think that you can improve it if you don't play? No. So why is it that officials, how do we expect them to be better when they're not doing anything during the week? And there's been this argument that there should be full-time officials. By the way, the NBA has full-time officials. The NHL has full-time officials, full-time Major League umpires. But yet, the most popular, most lucrative, most successful sport doesn't have full-time officials. They're paid like full-time officials. They're paid that way, but they're not doing full-time work.
Well, let me just follow up on that, Adam, from a logistics standpoint, because you don't have games during the week, right? We got Thursday, we got Sunday, we got Monday. Would this be like a VR type of thing? Would they be like virtual reality to get more reps, right? There's only so many games to go around. The comp to the NBA and the NHL is you got games every night of the week that they are honing their craft and getting the reps.
I think there's a lot of ways it could be done. Okay, one that somebody talked to me about, there should be a central training ground during the week, during football season. Officials should be gathered in Chicago, Dallas, Indianapolis, Kansas City. You pick the city. And the way that I was talking about it with somebody this week was they go in there, they all review all the calls from all the games together. They study technique. They study calls. There's a physical conditioning element to the whole thing. They're going over all the rules all the time, working on it. See, look what they did in the Packers-Chiefs game. Look what they did in the Bears game. Look what they did in the Lions game. And they're studying it together so that they could all be more consistent. It's never going to be perfect. We get it. It's an imperfect system. It's flawed. But the fact of the matter is, the league, which is so progressive in so many ways, progressive about making money and driving ratings and boosting popularity, does an unbelievable job of it. In this area, it's lagging. It's just lagging.
Adam, do you think it's an age thing? Because I always use the driving analogy. I'm 54 years old. I am not as good a driver at 54 as opposed to 35. It's just your reaction time, your process, your peripheral vision isn't as good. And if you look at a lot of these officials, I mean, they're in their 50s, 60s, and maybe 70s. Do they have to, you think, go younger? Because so many of these plays are like bang, bang, bang.
Well, Chewy, let me say this. First of all, I thought you were an excellent driver at 35, and I think you're an excellent driver today at 54, okay? So let me start there. But beyond that, I think that they have to look at a variety of ways. Again, and like I've spoken to a few people about it this week, one person was saying to me, and maybe you can come in here, Chewy, they're like, you know what? There's a lot of players who, when they get done with their career, they're looking for something to do. How about a training ground for them to become officials. Like they would understand it. What about that? I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I kind of like that idea.
I kind of like my day over at 10 o'clock, though, Adam. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, well, you're good. You're good. And and to your point, we don't want you on the roads any later than 10:30 a.m. We want to get you off the roads by then. But there's probably something to that. But there's also something to the experience of this. Look, I'm just telling you, these officials in many cases do a great job. These are, as you said, bang bang plays, and you see them make an on-field call, and they're right way more often than they're wrong, but the wrong ones stand out when everybody's watching, and so there has to be a way that we can at least, or the league, can try to improve that and do something to make it better. And, again, that was the word that I heard over and over, consistent. Teams just want them to be consistent, and their point was these guys, they're paid like they're full-time, but they're not doing it on a full-time basis, and they believe that impacts the results on Sunday, whether you agree or disagree. And I think anybody who saw the last drive on Sunday night, and I'm sure people in Green Bay aren't complaining too much, but it was obvious that they missed any number of calls in that drive, and they were inconsistent.
Has the league thought about being more transparent about some of the process as well? Because, we all get the pool report, which is... again, it seems like it's a waste of everyone's time because the officials haven't looked at any film and they just kind of, well, clearly that's what you thought because you called the penalty or didn't think because you didn't call the penalty. But at times also, Adam, they do the expedited review and everybody knows you did the expedited review, but the officials just come out and say, after further discussion. Like the hit on Mahomes... Like, it was very clear he was in bounds. Like, I feel like that would be very easily somebody in a booth going, hey, actually, he was in bounds. That should be an okay hit. And you're able to do it quickly and move on. Have they thought about being more transparent about this whole process? Because I think that's part of the issue as well.
But when you say, Gabe, you want them to be more transparent, what do you want them to do? You want them on Monday to say we blew the call? We don't need them to say that. We know they did.
No, I guess I'm talking about more transparent about when they blow calls. Because we find out when players get fined. Shouldn't we find out when officials are fined?
Listen. We don't know when officials are downgraded. Okay.
Yes.
I would be quite confident in saying that the crew on Sunday night was downgraded. I'd be quite confident in saying that. Do I know that? No. Okay. But then they're downgraded, and what does that mean? It means that it's held against them for future playoff assignments and potentially the Super Bowl. And so, we go from there. It's a case where, transparency, I don't know that does all that much. It's not like these officials need to be publicly reprimanded. We know they did a terrible job on the final drive on Sunday night. We know it, and it's going to be held against them, I'm sure, at some point in time. So, people get all worked up about the officiating. I get it. But to me, the league it's talked about so much. The funny thing is, if you asked all the head coaches and GMs and personnel men and players their honest assessment of fit, they'd be blasted. But they can't say that. They can't say that because they'd be fined. But the truth of the matter is, I can't tell you how many people complain about it. Nobody is happy with the state of the officiating in the NFL, in my mind.
Well, I just pulled up an article from Front Office Sports from earlier this year that projected 73.5 million Americans will bet at some point on the 2023 NFL season. That's why people care, right? Because you can't have these dramatic money swings based on bad calls. But Mike Freeman wrote a column, Adam, that I thought was really interesting that said that you want to figure out who to blame for this, and you could blame the NFL or you could blame the officials for not maybe putting in more time. Blame the fans. Blame the fans for tolerating what has become an inferior product, or at least not as good as it could be, because we're addicted to it. And he says that if this happened with your phone, if your phone kept malfunctioning, or if your car kept stopping on the highway, you'd trade it in for something else. But because the NFL has a monopoly, there's nothing else to trade it in for. So it's an interesting, he was saying, we need to hold the NFL accountable by not watching, while also admitting that there's an addiction to the NFL that people aren't capable of walking away from.
Yeah. It's this has been a long-standing issue. The light got shined on it again Sunday night, especially in your market. And it's not going away. I mean, it's going to be here again, and when officials blow calls, it comes up. And, again, I want to be very clear. Like, these officials, they're great people, and they do I think they do a really good job, by and large. But there are obvious misses, clear misses. And I think everybody is just looking for the officiating to be as good as it can be, and for the league's officials to be as consistent as possible.
Well, is it as simple, Adam, as putting more replay in then? Is it as simple as we were talking about the play the other day? Go ahead.
Jen, if it were that simple, the competition committee would have done that a while ago. And, you know, they always talk about the unintended consequences. They're trying to keep these games moving
100%.
along,
I get
right?
that.
Last Thursday night, you know, you could see Al Michaels was saying how Clete Blakeman, they might as well let him do the play-by-play of the game here. Like, nobody wants that. So we don't want to stop everything and just be like, okay, you know, reviewing these. I don't know, maybe in the final 2 minutes.
That's what I was just going to say, yes. Because that play that we were talking about, everybody talks about the everybody talks about the PI that wasn't called. But what about the unnecessary roughness call on the sideline where Patrick Mahomes was clearly establishing himself as a runner and Jonathan Owen gets flagged for making a football hit? You know, you should be able to replay that in the final. It was in the final minute of the game, I believe, and say Patrick Mahomes was still in bounds when Jonathan Owens delivered that hit.
Yeah, I agree with all this. You know, I agree with all this. Again, I think people just want the league to be a little bit more consistent. That's all. That's all people are asking.
You know what I think is going to push it along, Adam, is when baseball goes to electronic balls and strikes.
How will it push it along?
I think that'll run so smooth, and they'll be like, okay, they figured baseball out. You know, the traditionalists will be like, okay, I hate it, but it's better for the game. And I think you're going to see, like Jonathan Owens hit on the sideline, someone in the box going, no, he was in bounds, get in the referee's ear. No, that's good. And then I don't care if you know. I don't think people care. Like Gabe was saying, the transparency of it, all they want to know is what they see is the right call no matter where it comes from.
Yeah, I agree with that. And again, here's the thing. There are ways that they can figure out ways to improve the product. Mm-hmm. And again, that's all we're trying to do, whether that's reviewing the final 2 minutes, whether that's an electronic system, whether that's I don't know what it is, whether it's full-time officials, whether it's getting these guys to work more at their craft. Everybody just wants to see the game officiated as well as it can be, knowing that there's going to be mistakes because that's just how it goes. There's human error. That's a part of this. But when you see those calls like that the other night, it's just, you know, it's unfortunate that a game could be and should be and will be decided like that on Sunday night, though I will say it was excellent for the Green Bay Packers' playoff chances.
Well, you mentioned their playoff chances, and you've been somebody that, despite their poor start, seemed to still believe in this team. They entered a 4-game stretch. We talked to you after the Rams game, Adam, when the Packers were sitting there at 3-6, or 3-5 at that point. You know, entering a gauntlet against the Steelers, Chargers, Lions, Chiefs. You're like, okay, if they figure out a way to go 2-2. And, you know, I don't know, we probably made fun of you a little bit because it didn't seem like they'd go 2-2. And what do you know? They're now 6-6, one of the hottest teams in the league after wins over the Lions and Chiefs. What was it about this team that made you think that they could go on a little bit of a run?
Well, I will say this. I always thought the quarterback was good. And he started out looking good, and then he looked terrible. And then I was wondering, well, what's going on here? Like we all were. And then he's played great. And so I think it shows you that if he's playing at the level that he's capable of, that they're going to be a playoff team. If he's not, they're not. And I just thought that they had some good young talent at the skill positions. I thought, you know, I also thought I will say that they'd be able to run the football, that Aaron Jones would be carrying the day. And that hasn't happened, and they're still winning the last 2 weeks. So credit to them for even overcoming that. But I think that also speaks to the way that Jordan Love has played recently. And again, you know, I had him on my fantasy team at one point. I just say that as a matter of point because it's interesting in that there was a game this year, the Monday night game in Vegas, where I needed, I think, 9 points from him to win that week, and he had like 6, and he was awful. And I watched the game, and I couldn't take it anymore, okay? Like, it was maddening. And anybody who plays fantasy football and they need a certain amount of points, they know what that's like. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, the guy couldn't make a single play. And now he's making them all the time. And lo and behold, they're winning. And now you look at the schedule. At the Giants Monday night. And for Tampa. At Carolina. At Minnesota. Home for Chicago. 5 games left. Like, at the worst, they should go 3-2. Maybe they go 4-1. Right?
Yeah.
Am I missing something?
No, you're 100% right.
2-3 would be a disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
2-3 would be a disappointment. And they got a chance to make the playoffs. And it's fun, and it's exciting to see. And the young team is starting to grow up. And that was their concern, that it would be a young team, that they'd make mistakes. And they did do that. And I don't know whether there's more hair in their chest now or what the hell's going on, but they're playing better, and they're winning games, and they're in the playoff hunt.
That reminds me, I got to book a waxing appointment, guys. So we just jot that down. Adam, before we let you go, the
Jen,
2023.
I hope there's not hair in your chest.
No comment. The 2023 word of the year is Riz. Oxford University, the Oxford English Dictionary has declared Riz as the 2020. Now, you have a teenage daughter, so I assume you're familiar with the term Riz, but I want to know on a scale of 1 to 10, Rizziness. How much Riz does Adam Schefter have?
Not much at all, but I happen to only know that term. I don't know where I learned it recently. I don't think I learned it. I don't believe I learned it from my 15-year-old daughter, who's got way more Riz than her old man. But I think I read it maybe as it pertained to, like, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, or the way that the 49ers strut out onto the field with the boombox. You know, they got Riz. Charisma. That's Riz, right? There we go.
Nailed it.
That was definitely worth it. Adam, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Have a great week. We'll talk to you again soon.
Good luck with the waxing, Jen.
Everybody's rooting for you. Everybody's talking about the Island Resort and Casino. They bring you Adam Schefter each and every week. Largest resort north of Milwaukee. Gaming, dining, live entertainment, luxury spa. I mean, 2 championship golf courses closed for now, but if you head up there back in the spring, I will vouch for them. Visit islandresortandcasino.com to book your getaway today.
Full show podcasts, interviews, and special content is available right now at WisconsinOnDemand.com. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on 94.5 ESPN.
Q Club of Wisconsin is your hangout spot for watching sports, playing games, and having some drinks. Mike, what do you have going on over there?
Gary, we have so much going on. We're still the place to be on game days to catch the green and gold. Book a holiday party in our VIP room, which includes a private pool table, 2 shuffleboard tables, and 4 dartboards. Plus, we got great live music every Saturday night. And of course, we've got our fish fry on Wednesdays and Fridays, where you know we pile it high.
All happening at the Q Club of Wisconsin, North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Check out QClubofWisconsin.com.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 10 to 12 ounce or 10 to 12 count selected varieties Green Mountain or McCafe coffee, $6.99. 4 to 6 count selected varieties Northern Bath or Brawny Towel, $7.99. 57.6 ounce selected varieties Extra Laundry Detergent, $2.99. 1 pound selected varieties Land O'Lakes Butter, $4.99.
Look at those brats. You do tailgating right. Absolutely. Did you see the spread out there? You've got enough food to feed the entire lot. I'm splurging now and then hoping to win $700 in free groceries. $700? Yeah, it's all part of the 70th anniversary at Century Foods. No kidding. Next week, I'll do the shopping. Maybe I'll score $700 in groceries. All you need is the weekly code. It's on Century's Facebook or Instagram. Oh, I just remembered. I'll be out of town next week. Yeah, right, cheapskate.
Ends January 3rd.
in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, there's an all-new Potawatomi Casino Hotel, where there's a table waiting for you at 12 bars and restaurants, a winning seat at 40 table games or 3,000 slot machines, plus the thrill of bingo, full-service sports betting, and more. Are you ready to spark something new? Light up your senses at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Explore more at paysbig.com.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta Restaurants. Purchase a gift card at bartolottas.com and get a $20 holiday bonus for every $100 you spend. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank, and as a community bank, we sincerely appreciate our customer loyalty. Over nearly 90 years, we've done all we can to return the favor. Great Midwest Bank offers flexible solutions that bigger banks and credit unions simply can't, because our entire team is right here in the community. We love helping our neighbors when we're at work and then catching up over the weekend. Visit us at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Brighten up your home, workplace, or event with flowers and trust Welke's Milwaukee Florist to be your local florist. Welke's is family owned and has delivered beauty for customers and businesses for well over 100 years. Join Welke's flower subscription so your home is always fresh, or discover the benefits of creating a corporate account and leave the work to them. Welke's Milwaukee Florist has locations in Elm Grove and at 56th and North in Milwaukee. Go to welkes.com, that's WELKES.com for more info and to place an order.
It's never too early to start making your list and checking it twice. Give the gift of a delicious Milwaukee food and city tours experience this holiday season. From a walking tour on Brady Street to our tacos and tequila bus tour or our beloved Christmas bakery bus tour, we have something for all tastes. Plus, we're offering a 15% discount on all gift card purchases through the end of the year. Send your clients, colleagues, or family this delicious gift at MilwaukeeFoodTours.com.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I don't know which is which, but here's what I do.
Yes, all right.
I take the plus and I put it to the plus. I take the minus and I put it to the minus.
Yeah, but the jacker things don't have the...
Yeah, they do.
Where?
Sure do. On the handles.
What's a jacker thing? I mean, it's something that your wife keeps in the drawer.
He meant jumper cables.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I cannot tell you guys how thrilled I am that our basement remodel is almost done. The walls went up. We told you guys we had foundational issues. They had to come in. They had to excavate. It was a whole big thing. But my friends over at Professional Construction Inc. in Waukesha are almost finished with the side of the basement that was already finished. That's a fun little development, isn't it? That side was already done. Literally done. The floor was down. The walls were painted. Everything was good except for the bulge that ended up being foundation issues anyway. If you are like us and you're looking for a remodel project, talk to my friends over at PCI. Mike and Michelle operate a family-owned company. They believe in building relationships, giving back to the community, and guys, they are hiring. So if you know experienced carpenters who want to lead field crews, apply online at professionalconstructioninc.com/careers. Cannot say enough good things about the job that Professional Construction Inc. did in my house, in my basement, now that we are just days away from having the whole dang thing done. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on right after this. Stick around.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
We have a few accidents to deal with now. First of all, on northbound 4394 at the ramp from Beecher Street. We've got another one at Lapham off on the right shoulder, and now one blocking the left lane, heading through the Marquette onto 43 northbound. So all this adding to your delays, stretching all the way back through the Plainfield curve. Southbound on 43, slowing from Bender Road all the way down towards Locust. Westbound 94, have you from about 20th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. And then on eastbound 94, slowing from 84th Street all the way to about 35th. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, mostly cloudy, a high of 40. Tonight, partly cloudy and breezy, a low of 35. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play Whistling Straits and other Pro Tour courses, whatever the weather is, in one of their 12 state-of-the-art simulators.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, a group of doctors I trusted with my knee surgery. The pain was real and options were important. My experience with each doctor was thorough, the appointments were timely, always close and easy access to the building. My mom felt the same way, I know, when she went there for her physical therapy appointments at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. I trusted their surgical team for my knee surgery, and I know they'll take care of you the way they did my mom and me. Make an appointment at orthowisconsin.com.
Get your game on at the Island Resort and Casino with first-round picks of your favorite slots and table games. Bring friends and watch your favorite team compete on big screens. Grab game day eats in T. McSee's Sports Bar or celebrate your team's victory in Horizon's Steakhouse. To book your game time at the Island Resort and Casino, call 800-682-6040 today.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I guarantee Edison and Elon, they all had times in their life where, like, this is, like sitting in math class. Like, they're doing arithmetic when they really should be doing statistics.
What was that all about? They said they were interested in me. For what? You know, TV show. Your own show? Yeah, I guess so. They want you to do a TV show?
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I just want to be clear. You're putting yourself in the same category as one of the most famous innovators, inventors in history in Thomas Edison.
I mean, I've come up with some pretty good inventions and thoughts.
What?
The years I've been doing radio.
You want to go with me to NBC?
Yeah, I think we really got something here.
What do we got?
An idea.
What idea?
An idea for the show.
I still don't know what the idea is.
It's about nothing.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like
the Heisman finalists were announced on Monday evening. I'm sure y'all have seen it by now. Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr., QB, and Marvin Harrison Jr., the outstanding wide receiver from Ohio State. I'm not going to say the nickname. I'm boycotting the nickname.
Which is rich coming from you.
Yeah,
That's a very
That's
good point.
rich. Now we're going to be picky about bad nicknames.
It's not so much the bad nickname, because it's not necessarily a bad nickname. It's just how much it was like shoved down our throats every time Ohio State played on Fox.
Well, how else are you going to get a nickname to stick, Jen?
I don't know, Gabe. Chef's kiss.
It's terrible.
I wonder, guys, how many people put Jordan Travis on their Heisman ballot? You're allowed 3 votes. 1, 2, 3. First one gets 3 points. Second one gets 2 points. Last one gets 1 point. And then they obviously give the Heisman to whoever has the most points. But given everything that the College Football Playoff Committee says or indicated about Florida State, I don't know, Chew, gotta believe Jordan Travis is the best football player to ever walk the face of the earth, right? Because his absence is what led to an undefeated Florida State team that won its conference to be left out of this year's college football playoff. So do you think people that put Jordan Travis on their Heisman ballot have a case?
Yeah. Feel good?
Maybe a little feel good, but also like, is Florida State that much different without Jordan Travis? And if it is enough to be in the top 4 and then go outside the top 4, then isn't Jordan Travis the best college football player to ever walk the face of the earth?
Not necessarily, because you would say the exact same thing for Washington and maybe not so much Alabama, Texas.
Well, no, I mean, Alabama,
probably.
I mean, the strides that they've seen out of that quarterback position have been very similar to the strides we've seen out of Jordan Love.
Milroe?
Yeah. Jalen Milroe has taken huge strides forward, and that's the reason why Alabama was able to beat Georgia, is because he was much different than the player that lost to Texas back in September.
I guess I'm curious, Chew, if you're okay with Florida State being left out. We haven't had a huge conversation here about the college football playoff field since it was announced on Sunday.
The best thing about it, and I feel for Florida State, I do, But the best thing about it is the committee actually had the balls to do the right thing. And it's as simple as the point spread. All right? The point spread, if you put Florida State at 3 or 4, would be higher against both those opponents if they put them in there. I think the 4, now Georgia has a case. I will give them
Georgia
that.
would probably be favored against everybody still.
Yes.
And they found, I love the excuse to keep Georgia out, which is great because I think the committee thinks everyone's sick of Georgia. I am. I'm tired of Georgia. I don't want them in there.
Should have nothing to do with who's in, though, right?
I know it should.
Zero things to do.
But it did, right?
No, it went.
Georgia lost to Alabama
but I mean,
in the SEC championship game.
Hold on, the excuse they used is Georgia was to play Oklahoma. And this schedule was, Jen, correct me if I'm wrong because I'm entering your space here. They canceled the game because Oklahoma came into the SEC, I believe, next year. Well, Alabama versus Texas had the same scenario but kept the game on. Isn't that the reasoning behind keeping Georgia out, or at least a big part of it?
I don't think so. I think it's Texas beat Alabama, Alabama beat Georgia, so they had to put Texas in, and then they had to put Bama in.
Why, do you guys have a problem with them keeping Florida State out of the 4?
No.
Yes.
If you watched any of that ACC championship game, their offense is Iowa's offense.
That was the third-string quarterback, though.
Who is Tate Rodemaker going to be healthy by the time we get to college football playoffs? And it's not like Rodemaker played great in the limited time we saw him either.
Which, again, goes back to my point of how do you not give Jordan Travis a Heisman vote if his absence kept Florida State, and singularly his absence kept Florida State out of the college football playoff.
That's true of just about any team, right? Like Jordan Love's not the best player.
But that's the one thing a team can't control, their injuries. You can't control who gets injured. They played every single person on their schedule. They beat every single person on their schedule. This was an uncontrollable factor, and here the committee was like...
But the committee factors that in.
But this isn't the first time the committee has dinged a team for being injured in an important position.
Right, because a lot of people have talked about Ohio State, and a lot of people talked about the other teams that have put other guys... second-string guys in at the quarterback position, and we're not dinged.
Well, because they weren't. If Florida went out and won 59-0 the way that Ohio State did back in 2014, Florida State's in the college football playoff. They didn't. They won 16-6. They had single-digit yards in the first quarter. The offense just was not as efficient without their starting quarterback.
This, to me, again, goes back to the brands, guys. It goes back to college football wanting to reward brands like Texas, like Alabama, Georgia at times, although Georgia has proven the last 2 years to have been the best team in the nation. I think this is all TCU's fault. And I say this tongue-in-cheek, but sort of, kind of, not really. If TCU doesn't go out there and get absolutely boat raced at a game I was at and everybody had checked out by the second quarter, guys, right? There was no energy. There was no life. It was boring and people were pissed. If TCU doesn't go out and get boat raced in the national championship game last year to Georgia, I think the committee doesn't even think twice about keeping a Florida State out. I think that as a undefeated conference champion, they get in. But because you have that recent history hanging around, and like whispering in their ear, we don't want to be embarrassed again. We don't want to have everybody throwing it back in our face. They said, safer to go with a known commodity in Alabama and Nick Saban, or a Texas, if you will, because I guess you could make the argument that maybe Texas, although they beat Alabama, because they beat them head-to-head, they were always going to get in over Alabama. So the real question here is, should we take Alabama and Nick Saban, who at every opportunity puts a hell of a game plan together, goes toe-to-toe with whoever they're facing, or run the risk of a Florida State game who, like you said, with a backup quarterback could not produce, could not make, score points, and worry about them being boat raced again?
Right now, is Florida State one of the best 4 teams in college football?
No.
Based on what? Because they won all their games. We're applying such an illogical basis for all of this.
Who did they beat, Josh?
Where does winning
Is Louisville
matter
a
and
dominant
where doesn't it matter?
program? What? Well, give me their best win. LSU? Yeah, at the time it seemed like a big win, but after LSU played the season,
you play the teams that are on your schedule. You win every game. You win your Power 5 conference. That is enough. That is the standard.
And every coach I've ever spoken to, every single coach, Chew, has said it is hard to go undefeated. And you've said this, Chew, because you can get tripped up by trap games and injuries, and there's all sorts of little variables that at any given moment can conspire to give you a loss. So there should be some value in being able to overcome all of those things.
Sure, give them a ribbon. That's great. But you know what? If Florida State was playing Michigan or one of those or Washington, I'm not watching.
Well, you don't watch the Packers if it's too late, so I don't know how much you're taking into consideration.
Yeah, but the bowl games are on early enough.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it is.
The Rose Bowl starts at like 3
Is it New Year's Eve, though? Is it New
Year's Day this year,
It's
big
New
guy.
Year's Day,
Oh, it is. Okay.
It is New Year's Day this year.
Yeah, so lock it in.
But they're supposed to find the 4 best. And I don't understand the outrage of like people like Greeny. Oh, college football is, this isn't supposed to, what are we doing? This isn't figure skating? This is what college football has always been.
Yes.
This is literally what it's always been. Like we used to decide college football with a poll, with an AP and coaches poll at the end of the season. And then they went to the BCS. We let the computers decide. And this is the way college football has always been decided.
But the thing is that they knew that this would happen.
Yeah.
They knew when they created a 4-team playoff with 5 Power 5 conferences that they were running the risk of there being a year where you had undefeated teams in every conference. Could happen any given year. It just hasn't. And then this year, when you had an undefeated conference champ, you had to be like, well, thank goodness they're. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Ifs and whats and buts and nuts and whatnot. If Jordan Travis is healthy, is Florida State one of the top?
Yes.
One of the best teams in the country.
Hold on.
4 best
Pause.
teams in the country.
Both of you snap yes.
Yeah.
Are they favored against Michigan?
Again, that's...
How much is the difference? Are they favored against
don't
Georgia?
lump me in.
Because you guys are putting...
No,
you guys are not putting the
hold
same
on. You
thing.
don't lump me in with Chewy in the point spreads. All right, don't lump me in with that. That was something that he made a point of.
We're broken up for the rest of the show, Gabe.
You nodded your head. The problem with this whole thing is we're applying some standards in places we feel they're necessary because Alabama beating Georgia matters, but they have a loss on their schedule. So when you start applying, you're applying standards that you use freely. You're not applying them across all of the teams evenly. So it doesn't make sense. Like winning and not winning matters.
Well, and again, let me add another caveat to the situation, which really hasn't gotten a ton of attention, but Oregon is clearly one of the best teams in the country. I'm not going to say the top 4 teams, but the only team they lost to this year, guys, was Washington, which right now is the number 2 team in the country. So couldn't they have made a case that they were worthy of that 4th position? That the only team they lost to was a team that you guys consider to be the 2nd best in the country. So couldn't they say, aren't we 3rd?
So
couldn't we be 4th? And again,
you're saying if Oregon beat Washington in the championship?
No, they just lost to them straight up. Washington is better than Oregon. Right? But again, we're putting all that emphasis on all of these random things. And that was my argument was, even if Oregon loses to Washington, couldn't they have had a case? Now that's where you go to strength of record, strength of schedule, and all of these other point spread and all of these other things that people want to bring into the conversation. But it is arbitrary is the bottom line.
But it always has been.
But is it going to be? That's the next question.
Yeah.
Because they're going to the 12-game playoff, or 12-team playoff, rather.
We're just going to care less because this has been in the college football playoff era. This, to me, is one of the first times we actually had teams that are left out of the college football playoff that could have won a national championship. Like Georgia could have won the national championship this year. If they were in the field, nobody'd be shocked if they won the national. Same thing with Oregon. Same thing with Ohio State. Like, there are 3 legitimate teams outside the college football playoff that I think could have won a national championship this year. But this is the first time that's happened. Typically, it's like, okay, there's one dominant team. We know they're going to win. Maybe there's a second dominant team. We get a really good, national championship game. I don't think the 13th best team has a chance at winning a national championship.
Well, here's
in
the
college
other. So you mentioned Ohio State, which made me think of Kyle McCord, which made me think of the transfer portal. Is the transfer portal actually a good thing that is creating more parity at the top of college football?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Washington and Oregon aren't as good if they don't have Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. And same thing with Jordan Trav, with Jaden Daniels and LSU. Like, these teams aren't as good unless these quarterbacks hit the transfer portal.
Ohio State is the days of having 4 quarterbacks that are NFL level. Those are gone because those kids aren't waiting.
Well, Joe Burrow really started that, didn't he? Yeah. When he was like, I'm going to sit here behind these guys, or I'm going to go to LSU and potentially win and end up winning a national championship.
Like, Arch Manning ain't going to stick around Texas if Ewers comes back
playing,
next year. Yeah. Like, he's going to go somewhere where he can play.
I don't know if it's good. I really don't.
You don't like the parody?
I just see it getting ugly. Give me who's a good quarterback coming back next year, Jen?
Well, Quinn Ewers, right? That's the one that everybody's talking about.
Ohio State comes in and says, "Hey, we'll pay you $6 million to transfer Ohio State."
Which would be ironic since he did initially commit to Ohio State, and then after getting his NIL money, was like, "Deuces, I'm going back to Texas."
I think it's good for the consumer. I don't know if it's good for the sport.
Yes.
And good for the kids even in some places. Because some kids are going to keep transferring and just never play, and it's going to delay that. But I think for me, as somebody watching, it makes it more interesting.
DJ Uiagalelei is transferring out of Oregon State, I want to say is where he was, after, of course, starting his career at Clemson. I saw Dylan Gabriel is in the transfer portal. He's the quarterback at Oklahoma. Riley Leonard is obviously the big one that everybody's talking about because he's likely going to Notre Dame from Duke. But I actually kind of like that this has become that transactional. I like that guys recognize that being a top team in college football is going to be enormous for the likelihood of them playing in the NFL and getting drafted to, a good situation. Again, that's always a crapshoot. But they recognize that, like, hey, I want to play in the league. That's the goal here. This is basically a finishing school for playing in the NFL. And if I'm not getting what I need to get at the place that I'm at, I'll go somewhere else and find it. Yeah, I like that.
But Debo, with the stance he's taken on NIL.
Dabo?
Debo had a hell of a game.
No, you didn't
hear.
hear.
Really good
Hold
game
on.
for the 49ers.
The receiver from the 49ers commented on this, and this is where I'm getting it from, okay? So
Sorry,
will you just hold on a damn minute? Debo said schools like Clemson, his first example, who is against NIL, they'll never win. They'll never win.
Nope.
Never win.
Well, let me ask you this then. Does that extend to basketball as well? Because I had the basketball show with Shaka Smart the other day, and he was very adamant and proud of the fact that Marquette, as a basketball school, has not dipped into the transfer portal. And he was saying they are one of 2 Division I programs that has not utilized the transfer portal in the time he's been there. Now he's not saying that they're never going to. He's just saying that to this point, he's rewarding guys who have been in the program. Is it different because it's such a smaller group of athletes than the all of the positions you have to fill at a college football team?
Well, there's already more parity, I think, in college basketball. Just because, and again, they already have the single elimination tournament. One guy gets hot, you get eliminated. Gets hot, carries you for a weekend, what have you. Whereas in football, it's just so much more physical game, and you need more good players than you do on a college basketball team.
Gabe, it's much easier to buy a national championship in basketball than it is in football. I mean, how many stud players do you need on a college basketball team to win a national championship?
Yeah, but everything still has to go right because you got to win 6 games in March.
Yeah, but 3 guys, you're paying them $2 million each. $6 million will get you a national championship.
Maybe.
A lot of times in basketball.
Maybe.
Let me ask you this, guys, because we do this whole theater on the radio for a living, and we know how much conversation matters. The conversation surrounding the college football playoff, is that good for business?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So there's a part of me. So there's a part of me that thinks that played a role as well, right? Like they knew someone was going to be left out, and they knew that like you could make a case for a number of teams to be that team. But no matter who it was, somebody being left out who a group of the people think is deserving is good for business. Because we're talking about it, and we're going to keep talking about it. And then depending on how those games shake out, we'll keep talking about it.
Exactly. So why, if somebody's going to get left out, people are going to be talking about it.
Yeah, but
why not leave out the team that you know is going to give you the worst game? Like having those two games and the semifinals mean something and be super entertaining on New Year's Day.
Matters.
Huge.
Matters.
But it's all irrelevant now because no one's going to care if the 13th team is left out. No one cares.
Yeah.
This is the last year of it. Am I right?
Of this type of uproar, yes. Because I don't even know who the 13th team is. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's LSU. I know they were around that number.
Right here. I'll help you out there, Gabe.
No, you got it. I'm not even sure how far down I could. I know Penn State was in the mix there, down in that space.
But exactly. Like Penn State. Could they win a national championship?
Yeah, unless somebody goes undefeated and wins their conference, I don't think you can have this amount of outrage. That is where it is because people feel it's antithetical to sports.
Anti-ethical or
Antithetical. It is against the theory of sports about how winning and losing matters. They took away winning from FSU, they made it less important.
But it matters how you win also, right? Like that's why point total and point differential is in there, even in the NFL when you're trying to do tiebreakers and whatnot, right? And that's why it was important for teams to run up the score. And who doesn't like offense? And who doesn't like watching teams trade touchdowns? Like, they know what they're doing is the bottom line. Like, I get it that a lot of people are hacked off about it. And I think that conversation is good for business. So again, here we are on how many days removed from the college football playoff? The rankings reveal, and
Came out on Sunday?
And people are still. I'm watching the comments on our YouTube page. You can find us on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube page. I'm watching them light up. People are fired up.
Are we attributing a mad scientist brain to something that's just incompetence? Because if you go back to how they flip-flopped the rankings, they moved things around. Are we saying these guys? Are we giving the committee too much credit for all the things? Because if we really want to boil it down, it's simple. Alabama is the biggest brand. And they are going to make more money because Alabama is in it. So if it's that simple, then that's just the case. It's not like we're going to create such a good conversation.
Well, leaving out the SEC was never going to happen.
Yeah, of course not. You can't.
Can you imagine Paul Feinbaum?
Yeah.
If the SEC got left out?
Yeah. That guy
Well, and again, guys, it'll all come out in the wash because these games are going to take place. And we're going to see if they put the right matchups in there based on how the games shake out.
Will a blowout change anybody's opinion for what happened? Let's say Michigan blows out Alabama, which is unlikely. But in that case, because you said TCU ruined it, but will a blowout matter in the 1-4 matchup?
No. A blowout in the national championship would matter. That's where it happened, right? Their biggest game, their biggest stage, all the eyeballs, corporations, partners, the stadium is full. We're in LA, and it's a dud.
Which happens. That's happened in the Super Bowl before. Like, there's only so much you can do after you've set the field.
I know. But my point is, as you're trying to, push the buttons and pull the levers and make the smoke, you're going, what gives us the best chance of that not happening again? And I think that conversation, whether they want to admit it or not, played a role in the decision to leave Florida State out.
Going to the 12-team playoff that brings in more variables going forward. That certainly could happen.
More blowouts.
Often. Yes.
Yeah. Did we ever figure out who the 12th team was? Chew, you got that list?
13. Oklahoma was 12.
Who was 13?
LSU.
Okay. So I nailed it.
Yeah.
Also, LSU, no chance of winning a national championship despite having the best player in college football. Get perked up. Let me tell you guys about Perky's Old Fashioned mix with the booze already inside. Brandy bourbon for a limited time, cranberry brandy options. For my holiday get-together that, around Christmas that we're going to be doing with my family, my mom's like, I want to try that cranberry. So I'm going to have to go out. I'm going to have to get some cranberry brandy Old Fashioned from Perky's because that's what it's great for. That's why it's out there. You can find Perky's near you. Go to Perky'sOldFashioned.com. Perky's Old Fashioned, locally made, Wisconsin made, your bartender in a bottle.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Right now, we are looking at a bunch of accidents. Northbound 41 at Burleigh blocking the left lane. Another one, northbound 4394 heading through the Marquette blocking the left lane as well. And one a little bit further back on 4394 northbound at Lapham on the right shoulder. All these areas obviously going to be affecting your ride. It's going to be kind of slow out there, so give yourself some extra time. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net. That's NEAL Group.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly cloudy, a high of 40 tonight, partly cloudy and breezy, a low of 35. Weather is brought to you by the Bartolotta Restaurants, offering you the perfect holiday gift. A memorable experience with the Bartolotta gift cards. Purchase yours at bartolottas.com, and happy holidays, Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel. I've spent a while telling you about Mentality because it works. Not just for me, though. Take it from fellow Mentality user Jason. He's got a new lease on life thanks to Mentality.
Process was easy. It really, truly was. And the individuals that work at Mentality, very helpful, very respectful. It was an easy out. You go in a week after, they give you the results right away. And once you find that you're able to do it, just that thought, the energy already picked up a little bit. Most of it could have been mentally wise, but knowing that, hey, I get to start this, it was incredible.
Learn more today at MoTUSA.com.
Paid actor portrayal.
I didn't see it coming. Life can be so unpredictable. After losing my dad, it made me think about my family if something were to happen to me. The mortgage, car payments, and all the other bills. Even things like our annual summer vacation would be out of reach. I had heard about life insurance through Ethos and how easy it was to get coverage. They were right. I knew it was time to stop putting it off and get life insurance right now. I got on my computer and went to ethoslife.com. In just 10 minutes, I was covered. And boom, family protected. Thanks to Ethos, my family won't have to worry about the bills if the unpredictable happens to me.
Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's GETETHOS.com.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Looking for a good laugh? Maybe your next date night or a friend's night out? Visit Milwaukee Improv. Your premier stand-up comedy destination is located at the corners of Brookfield. It's Kyle Bruston Nortman this Thursday, December 7th, broadcasting live from Milwaukee Improv. You can win prizes and free tickets to upcoming shows. Join Kyle Bruston Nortman live at Milwaukee Improv this Thursday, starting at 2 p.m., and you just might catch Ben Brust on stage. Learn more at MilwaukeeImprov.com.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Gabe, it'll change your life. Any barbecue you ate for the rest of your life will be measured against Buc-ee's.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Did you know the most popular time of the year to get engaged in December? That's this month. If you haven't been paying attention. Woke up this morning going, oh yeah, November, still playing. No, it's December right now. But now's the time to be listening. If you're one of those people that's looking to get engaged, but you're not sure if you can afford the ring that special someone in your life deserves. Because right now it's time to ring in the new year with our friends at the Jewelry Center. From now through December 22nd, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com and enter to win $2,000 in store credit to the Jewelry Center. That is not a typo. It's not $200. No, it is $2,000. Ring in the new year with the Jewelry Center. Get the right piece of jewelry for the person you love most. ESPNWisconsinContests.com to enter today.
I saw that there were some Packers players in Milwaukee yesterday at Fiserv Forum for the Bucs game against the Knicks. Bucs continuing in that in-season tournament. They got a big win, 146-122 over New York. And Joshy, I had it on. I got home from my work trip yesterday, and it was on, and I'd roll through and watch a couple possessions here and there, and then I'd roll back out. I don't know that this in-season tournament created the buzz or the must-watch mentality or attitude that it was hoping it would have. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's been hard to follow for the more casual fans. I think someone like Gabe certainly is probably pretty locked into it.
Are you locked in?
1,000%.
Yeah.
What?
Really?
I
want to win this tournament so damn bad, Jen. I really want to win this thing.
The only way I know is if the court looks funky. That's all I
got.
got.
But I think that was why they made the court look funky.
So that you would know that it was an
so it stands apart
tournament game.
Yeah.
That's so you walk across, the game is on the television, you walk in and go, why does the court look so weird? And then you're like, oh, it's the in-season tournament game.
It means a little bit more.
And now they're in the semis, and I saw that the Celtics got bounced, which I think a lot of people were wondering if the Bucks and Celtics would meet in this in-season tournament game, and then that would be a preview of a potential Eastern Conference final.
Yeah, Pacers are an electric factory. They got a fun young team.
Yeah?
Yeah. Tyrese Halliburton.
Worried about the Pacers?
I mean, the Bucks certainly could lose the game. I mean, Halliburton's an MVP candidate in the first 20 games of the season. Shout out to Oshkosh North, I think is where he went to high school. He's a Wisconsin kid.
That's good. Chew, you got any interest in this thing? I don't think I'm as plugged in as people want me to be.
Can I ask you a question?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
We had Miss over here like, oh man, I missed out on the opportunity for the Brewers. I didn't pay attention to any of the Buck season. I'm going to be paying attention. And now you're doing the same thing.
I'm very busy right now, Gabe.
Yeah, she's working.
Okay. January 8th, buddy. Don't think that we are Xing off the days until that national championship game so I can get some semblance of a life back. Chew, you watching this thing?
No. So, what do they get if they win?
$500,000 per player.
And what is the reasoning behind it?
They're trying to make the regular season games mean more, and part of what's happened and I think it's happening a little bit in the NFL as well. Part of having more games and having teams make the playoffs in baseball and NBA is that the regular season means less. So they want to make sure they're putting on an entertaining product during the regular season where teams are motivated to not rest their star players and make sure that their guys are out there and, give you a little bit more reason to pay attention to games that are happening before the postseason starts.
So tomorrow afternoon, they take on the Pacers in the semifinals of the East. If they win that, Chew, they are in the championship. They'll face either the Lakers or the Pelicans, who will also play tomorrow in the West semifinal.
Would this work in baseball or no?
An in-season tournament?
Yeah.
You could probably do something like that. Make a double elimination. Go college baseball World Series style.
Okay.
Have some pool play. Have some. Yeah, you might be able to do something like that.
All right. No, I'm not watching. You tell me when I should watch. It's not even Christmas, Gabe.
Yeah.
I'll watch at Christmas. How's that?
I mean, Bucks Pacers tomorrow, Chew. It's not on late. It's going to be on at 5 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh, that's not
You
bad.
send him a text reminder. How about this? Send him a text
do that.
reminder.
Please.
He'll turn it on, and then, Chew, you report back to us the following day.
Hold on. Time out. What's tomorrow? Thursday?
Yes, come on. Put it on.
But you know what Thursday is? 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central.
Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah, well, the Blammer's not down there by you. What are you doing?
Yeah, you FaceTime me?
Virtual.
You do? You zoom him in?
Of course.
What?
Wait, you get a good look up his nostrils? There's no way he knows how to use Zoom.
Yeah, what would that look like?
Again, his mouth and nose are taking up the entire screen.
Well, that's better than his belly.
That's a good point.
Are you ready to upgrade the concrete surfaces in your home? Showtime Floors and Floor Shield is the answer. It's used by military bases, airports, businesses, but most important to you probably is residential homes. Floor Shield is designed to beautify and protect concrete surfaces. And listen, I had the Floor Shield folks over at my house. I said, how long is this going to take, guys? Really, I don't have a lot of time. As I was just talking to Gabe about, it's the busy season. They said 24 hours, Jen. You move your stuff out, we finish it in 24 hours, you move your stuff back in, and you can know that your floor is going to be able to handle this Wisconsin winter. So if you're driving into your garage and you're seeing cracks and you're seeing uneven surfaces, will you please give my friends over at Showtime Floors a call? Go to their website, showtimefloors.com, showtimefloors.com. Right now, if you mention ESPN, they'll give you 10% off. Plus, there's coupons on their website, showtimefloors.com, showtimefloors.com. Justin McCoy from Cousin Subs, right after this.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Problems continue on northbound 41. Not only do we have the two right lanes blocked northbound 41 at Burleigh with an accident, but they've also closed the Burleigh on-ramp to northbound 41 as well because of this crash. Now, we've also got another one on northbound 43 heading straight through the Marquette. Left lane is blocked with that one through that interchange there. And we've also got an accident right at Lapham on 4394 northbound as well. Other than that, delays southbound 43 as usual from Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Mostly cloudy, a high of 40. Tonight, partly cloudy and breezy, a low of 35. Weather is brought to you by Pickleball Kingdom in Brookfield, the first professional level indoor facility in the Milwaukee area. Opening spring of 2024 at the Ruby Isle Shopping Center. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazagon, 94.5 ESPN.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank, and you gotta love finding change in the junk drawer, or even better, a 20 in your laundry or pants pocket, right? But the best source of extra cash may be in the walls of your home. All right, wait. Now, put down the sledgehammer and tap into the value of your house by setting up a home equity line of credit and experience a state of tranquility, knowing funds are there when you need them. Get started at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from ESPN Milwaukee's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. And you know that X-Golf is the place to work on your game this offseason. Convenient locations, Brookfield, Mequon, also inside American Family Field. Not only do they have the state-of-the-art simulators to give you all the information you need, but X-Golf is also a great place to catch the game. Whether we're talking about college or pro football, college hoops, pro hoops, once that season really gets rolling, X-Golf is the place to go with a great food menu and great bar options. Book your tee time today at xgolfbrookfield.com or xgolfmequon.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and it's pre-bowl season, but that doesn't mean we're not going to make a ton of money this week. Go to fatjacksports.com. It's the calm before the bowl storm $99 weekend special. Everything through Monday, only $99, including a huge weekend Sunday card going in the NFL. Get signed up at fatjacksports.com. Add some consistency to your gambling and start making money for only $99 through Monday, or everything through the end of the NCAA championship season for as little as $4.99. Fatjacksports.com to win.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm telling you, don't doubt his story, because he heebie-jeebies at certain times to miss field goals.
Yeah.
Gabe, I showed you how he does the heebie-jeebies,
Heebie-jeebie,
right?
heebie-jeebie, heebie-jeebie.
You take your
heebie-jeebie.
fingers and you rub them back and forth on your thigh, and you go heebie-jeebie, heebie-jeebie. Swear the guy bats 100%. So to call him a liar, and he puts a curse on you?
Look, I'm not calling him a liar.
Yeah, you are.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I'm not saying it was your fault, although you could have done more. Oh, you're so naive, yes, so.
Justin McCoy is a huge sports fan. I have learned this about you, Justin, in the 3 years that we have been working together with our partnership with Cousin Subs. And even you said the in-season tournament is a little tough to follow. You're watching the Bucks games, but you almost need a map to figure out who's facing who and when they're playing and what it means and all that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a Venn diagram, isn't it? I mean, when it came down to like the point differential and timeouts getting called in games and run up the score, and even the coaches didn't know what was going on, it was a little crazy. But it has produced some good games.
We are hanging out with Justin because we team up with Cousin Sub every year for free subs for a year. So why don't we just get this out of the way, because this is always something that people are really looking forward to, which is announcing the winner of the Cousins free subs for a year sweepstakes. And remember, if you want to enter, you can go to cousinsubs.com/free subs. And the lucky winner now is, we always have to do the drum roll, right?
Here it comes. All right, we got a local winner. It's Annette Hay from Menominee Falls.
She has been selected as our free subs for a year sweepstakes winner. Congratulations, Annette. You guys have received more than 45,000 entries from folks looking to satisfy their local cravings. Of course, again, that website is cousinsubs.com/free subs. Chew?
Justin, well, I'm supposed to be on probation because I wasn't really nice, even though it wasn't my fault last time, and I got yelled at. Josh.
Oh, wait, are we getting
marketing team?
Are we getting a thing?
Oh, we're diving into this.
Is this a
already.
thing?
No.
Are we diving into Lake Country talk or my Packer predictions when I got called just a fan? Where should we start?
I love Justin. You know what? Every time I see him out at Okachi Lake, we have a good time.
We do.
So, it's just my problem.
By the way,
is Justin
always having a good time too. Just for the
he's
record.
not alone.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander, huh, big guy?
Sometimes my mouth gets ahead of my brain. I will admit.
Sometimes.
Justin,
Were you about to apologize or no?
I'm just happy I get to ask a question. Justin, rank your three favorite teams in the state. Is it Packers next?
Packers, Bucks, Brewers.
Okay.
I grew up near Green Bay. going to Packer games with my dad when I was 5 years old. First Packer game was Joe Montana, Roger Craig, Jerry Rice at Lambeau. Packers will always be number one, but the Bucs are very close behind.
Were you at the game on Sunday?
I was.
Watching on TV, it seemed like the Lambeau crowd was louder for really any recent game. I would say probably even since COVID.
It was one of the best home games I've been in a while.
So the energy inside the stadium was there.
There was energy from the get-go.
Yeah, because it sounded like, I haven't heard Lambeau sound this loud in a while. And that was just over the TV broadcast, so I just wanted to make sure I wasn't losing anything in translation.
No, it absolutely was. And, it doesn't hurt when you come out and score in your first 2 drives. That builds momentum. Coming off of 2 wins and coming out and doing that. But the energy was great. It was just a beautiful night there. It was an awesome game.
Well, break down what you've been seeing, because we always like to get your perspective on what you're seeing from Jordan Love, from the offense, from Matt LaFleur. It seems to us as though Matt LaFleur has said, we got all these plays. I love the motion. I've got these talented young guys. Throw it all at them. Let's do it all. Let's do everything that we've got.
Yeah, I think he's definitely taken off the chains. Yeah, I think he's definitely
wheels?
taken off the chains, and opened it up. But I think there's something to be said for the young skill position players who, and Chewy could speak to this. I didn't play in pro ball, but just watching the film and watching guys I respect, there's a play on a play sheet, and here's a route combo, and you run that route combo. But if you don't have a sense of your spatial awareness and where you're going to, it looks like the young guys are finding space in the coverage. Jordan was playing off too. I think the timing was just all off after those first 2 games, and it just really looks like they're clicking. Being at the game on Sunday night, you could see guys who were set. They're running the route, they're settling into spots where it's open on the field. The route combos, the motion, everything that's happening, and this is what I think we all wanted to see. Beyond that, I think the offensive line has settled in too. Walker is playing much better at left tackle, and Tom has really settled in at right tackle. I don't know. So for some reason, Josh Meyer had a great game on Sunday night, which was a miracle to me because I thought he's been playing so far. But it just things are clicking.
Is this as exciting as 92? You think for the fans?
I don't know. From my perspective, I just wanted to see growth. I think when I was here last time, I was saying I hope to see 9-8 and continued growth, and that's why it's exciting to me because they're so young. There's cap space next year. They got draft picks. To me, it isn't just about this year. It's just about growth through this season. So it's exciting to me. I still have measured expectations the rest of the year. I don't want to get too high or too low because I think they're a young team and they're going to have a clunker here somewhere in these 5 games, I would guess. I don't know.
Really?
I just think with this young of a team, you have to think that might happen. But anything above that's gravy. If they go 3-2, then they hit where I hope they would be, and we'll see what happens.
I was hoping Atlanta was the clunker, or the Raiders was the clunker. They got it out of their system.
There were a lot of clunkers there.
Yeah,
in
there
the
was
month
a
of
streak
October.
of
In the month of October, it was tough. As we talked with Justin McCoy from Cousin Subs. Tell me about this pretzel bread. All right, because I'm a fan of pretzel bread, and now knowing if I'd have known this beforehand, I'd have asked for the pretzel bread on the sub you delivered here today.
Yeah, so pretzel bread we've been doing on and off for years, and we had a discussion in September about whether we should bring it back, and decided to bring it back. So now it's available. We'll be running it at least through the end of January. You can substitute it on any sub. So pretty excited about that. We're getting a lot of chatter about it coming back, along with the Euro and the Mint Shake. So, this is a nice round of limited time only products coming in the store.
Justin, you were saying that this time of year for Cousins, things slow down a little bit for you, but for a lot of people, things are speeding up. It's the holiday season. You're trying to figure out where you're going and how you're feeding everybody. And it sounds like Cousins has a really good option for people, especially at the holidays, with the catering options and of course gift cards for gifts, right? If you're wondering what to send people, a Cousins gift card is not a bad idea.
Yeah, if you purchase $30 in gift cards, you get a free sub. So for those of you who don't like to go out and go to Targets and go on Amazon, come in and buy a gift card and get a free sub. We try to make it easy, and then the same with the holiday catering, whether it's the office party, whether you're having people over, whether having people over for the game. We have the party boxes, box lunches, all different options for you, and we just try to make it easy and simple. That's what our goal is.
How is the Donald Driver partnership going? Good.
Everything's going great with Donald. In fact, I got to get a meeting on the calendar with him, trying to tie him down as, trying to wrangle him in. He's just so busy. He's got so much going on, but it's gone really well for us. Year 1 was awesome. We're looking forward to year 2. We've had some preliminary meetings. We'll of course be partnering with him on his softball game again. They just announced that Jordan Love and Aaron Jones will be the captain of the current players, and then Donald will have the veteran team. And then we also have our Driven at Heart Scholarship Contest with Donald that will be kicking off on February 1st. And then there's a couple new things we have in the hopper. So things are going really well with them.
Tying in with a conversation we were just having, I saw that Christian Driver just jumped in the transfer portal as well. He was obviously at Penn State, and he will be somewhere else. Maybe Wisconsin.
Who isn't in the transfer portal?
I'm not.
I was about to say, I don't think
goodness.
Jen is.
No, oh my God. I mean, I'm not.
Chewy doesn't
could
have
be.
any eligibility.
Chewy could
Does he
be.
have eligibility left?
I mean,
in basketball.
maybe
He just told us he's a worse driver now than he was at 35. I
maybe
can't
he's
imagine.
like the Alabama quarterback who jumped in the transfer portal, but for lacrosse, and he's not looking to play football.
Yeah, that's always a good
So
possibility.
Chewy could be looking to play basketball now. I've seen some old videos of Chewy getting up and slamming at home.
Old.
Speaking of basketball,
Let me just say, your contributions have been fantastic.
have you liked what you've seen out of the new look Bucks with Damian Lillard?
Offensively, recently, yes. Defensively, no.
I've decided, hey, they're not going to play defense. They're not going to stop anyone. Just going to outscore everybody and score 146 like they did last night.
Will that work in the postseason?
Well,
That's my concern.
They've gotten some stops down the stretch.
Yeah.
They've gotten into the 5 minute where they kind of up the intensity. I think that you can. It's tough with the NBA to find that crunch time scoring. I think you can up your defense enough in crunch time, but if you don't have that piece like Dame that can make everything work, it becomes tough to find that crunch time scoring.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think the defense not playing well is a Dame issue. I think that narrative is totally false.
I thought Adrian Griffin was a defensive-minded coach.
I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know. Was that one of those things you don't say out loud?
No, I mean, doesn't it come down? Is his Brook is slowing down, or is it his use of Brook?
Mostly, I think the use of Brook.
Yeah,
because he's still protecting the rim at times, and then there's other times where he's off the. When Brook is off the floor, it's almost like it's layup line for the other team.
I think the big thing is getting the young swing guys in. The kid from Connecticut and Beauchamp. I think those guys got to Beasley's been good offensively, but I think getting those guys in crunch time is a big deal.
Well, we also thought that Joe Barry was a defensive-minded coach, so let's just let's hold judgment.
Did we? Where did he come from? What was his history?
Hey, just so you know, Justin, he almost dropped the Carroll. He famously calls him Joe Barry Carroll. He said the other day, he's like, I'm thinking about maybe having to drop it because they're doing so well from a scoring defense standpoint. What are they, ninth? Were they ninth last check in the league?
Yeah. Well, Chew, I was at Chives on Friday night, and guess who was sitting 2 tables away from me with his wife and his wife's friend was Mr. Joe Barry.
What?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Say hi?
I did. Joe was having a good time.
Okay.
Whoa, that's cool.
Kind of like him a little more now.
Full circle. Full circle. That's what
Should we invite him out?
He probably would do well in Okachi.
He'd love the hideaway.
You guys just found yourself a new drinking buddy. It sounds like Justin McCoy hanging out with us here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Before we let you go, I do want to make sure people are aware of the best seats in the house sweepstakes that you guys have done now for 8 consecutive seasons. It's obviously been very successful. How do people put themselves in the running for those VIP experience seats?
So they just need to go to packers.com/best seats, and they can enter daily for a chance to win 2 leather recliners at the 50-yard line at Lambeau Field. We pick 2 winners each week, so there's actually 4 leather recliners. It's in a VIP area. There's 2 flat screen TVs. In the winter, we bring you beverages. We bring you Cousin Subs. It's the only way to experience a Packer game.
Blankets? Do you bring me blankets?
We do. Cousin Subs blankets.
I love that. I have some friends who said that they're going up to their first Packers game. Packers at the end of the season. I said, bundle up, right? Because it doesn't matter how great the action is on the field. Those metal bleachers can get you.
Yeah. The cardboard on the putting it down on the concrete to put your feet on, even when you have boots.
Clutch.
That's key.
That's a key one.
Got to have the separation between that and the concrete.
Veteran move. Much like having Justin McCoy in here from Cousin Subs to talk about all the deals and specials that they've got going on right now at Cousin Subs.
And you guys are going in 2024.
Yeah. We got a lot coming up in 2024. We are actually planning to open 8 to 10 stores. Really exciting time for us. This is the most stores we've opened in probably a decade. All of them are going to be corporate, and in January or February, we're opening 4 stores alone. We're opening in Stoughton and Sun Prairie, just outside of Madison. We're going back up to Wausau, so we're going to have a location just past Rib Mountain. Going to be a great spot. And then we have made plans to go grow an additional market in the Midwest, so we're looking to open in Indianapolis next year. We'll be opening our first store there in mid-January, and then we're looking to open at least 2 more. in the Indianapolis market. So a very exciting time for us, and we're getting geared up for that.
So the next time that Badgers fans get down to the Big Ten Championship game to watch other teams in the Big Ten Championship, they can hit up a Cousin Subs.
Unnecessary, Jen. It's unnecessary, isn't it?
But show me the lie.
I mean,
show me
again,
the lie.
I didn't say you lied. I just said it was unnecessary.
We're making a splash. We're actually a sponsor of the Indiana Hoosiers basketball team, and we have a $100,000 half-court haul is what it's called. So right now, fans in Indiana can enter that in the last game of the season. We'll be bringing in the winter to attempt a shot at half-court for $100,000. So we're really excited about entering that market. We think it's going to go really well.
Congratulations on the expansion. That is really sincerely awesome. Midweek meal ticket with Justin McCoy wrapping up here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We will wrap up the show right after this.
Full show podcasts, interviews, and special content is available right now at WisconsinOnDemand.com. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on 94.5 ESPN.
Hi everyone, John Miller here from PDS, a Converge company. PDS has been providing technology solutions and transforming IT for area companies for over 30 years. Today, we are helping organizations integrate digital workplace strategies that are giving today's worker the true ability to work from anywhere as they balance work and life both securely and productively. And as HP's largest partner in the area, our combined solutions have never been more important. If you're struggling with this, know we stand ready to help. From ideation to transformation, we can help you evolve your work from anywhere strategy. Learn more at pdsit.net.
Adulting in the fall means responsible spiking. For pumpkin spice or whatever your preferred fall drink concoction is, spike it with rum chata. It's a solution for any occasion. Rum chata is the world's finest liqueur featuring premium Caribbean rum combined with vanilla, cinnamon, and the highest quality dairy cream sourced from Wisconsin. Enjoy a smooth shot or a tantalizing spiked beverage with Rum Chata Original. And, backed by popular demand for a limited time, Rum Chata Peppermint Bark. Rum Chata, the superior way to spike and sip responsibly this fall.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple of weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Dell's Cyber Monday event is their biggest sale of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Must be at least 18 years old. Promo code location and other restrictions apply. See Sleeper Support Center for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-522-4700 for help.
Think you know basketball? Then try to turn your basketball knowledge into real money with the Sleeper app, the ultimate fantasy sports app that can turn game day into payday. Just download the Sleeper app and pick your favorite sports and players, like basketball star Damian Lillard. With more stats than any sports app, just choose 2 or more of your favorite players from pregame or live. Pick more or less from the predicted stats and ka-ching. You could win up to 100 times your money if your pick wins. With the Sleeper app, you can make picks anytime, even after the game starts. And only on Sleeper can you get up to 100 times payout. Check out Sleeper today and unlock one of the fastest growing fantasy sports apps in the world. Download right now and get up to $100 deposit match. Use promo code Milwaukee and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Just go to the App Store, download the Sleeper app today, and remember to use code Milwaukee for up to $100 match on your first deposit. That's promo code Milwaukee.
Ever wonder how the best athletes find the power to jump higher, cut quicker, skate smoother, drive farther, and stick the landing? At Prevea Orthopedics in Green Bay, we know power starts with the hips. That's why Dr. Michael Ryan and our team of experts provide comprehensive and advanced expertise in hip care, unlike anywhere else. Come to Prevea Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we can preserve your hips, so you can pursue your goals. Prevea Orthopedics, specializing in you.
It's never too early to start making your list and checking it twice. Give the gift of a delicious Milwaukee food and city tours experience this holiday season. From a walking tour on Brady Street to our tacos and tequila bus tour or our beloved Christmas bakery bus tour, we have something for all tastes. Plus, we're offering a 15% discount on all gift card purchases through the end of the year. Send your clients, colleagues, or family this delicious gift at MilwaukeeFoodTours.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What's the one thing you say almost weekly here on the show?
Less eat.
Try again.
I don't know.
What's the one thing you've got?
Big boobs.
You've got time.
Oh, time.
You've got time.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
We got there.
Took off. I needed a few more hints.
Yeah. You put you in a... That's Gabe's fault.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
Doesn't matter what age you are, low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. That's where Mentality comes in. Local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. Look, you might be dealing with low testosterone, not even realize it. Or maybe you're just kind of pushing it off, thinking it's something else. You're tired, groggy, just don't feel like yourself. Don't have that energy to attack your day the way that you did just a year or two ago. That could be low testosterone, and Mentality is here to help, and they can make it easy. You go in, get a blood panel done. Within a week, your results are back to you. And if your testosterone levels are low, you can work with Mentality to get them back to where they should be. And it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. No, it is customized just for you. Go to lowtusa.com. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more about Mentality and their low testosterone treatments. lowtusa.com.
We began the show talking about how Chewy and Aaron Rodgers agree that we shouldn't be getting too high. We shouldn't be crowning Jordan Love just yet. But I will say, it is sort of fun watching rival fan bases get very concerned about the future of the Green Bay Packers. Get very, very concerned. Our friend Big Cat from PMT, the Pardon My Take podcast, who is notoriously a Bears fan, who has even said that he has tuned in to Packers postgame shows on this very station after Packers losses just to revel in the misery yesterday.
He called in last year.
Yesterday had a very tough time.
This is bullshit because the Packers are going to go to the playoffs. They have the rest of their schedule is Giants, Bucks, Panthers, Vikings, Bears. The Packers are going to go to the playoffs, and Jordan Love is good, and it's f***ing bull. It's absolute bull. They shouldn't get away with this. It's absolute bull. Like Jordan Love's throwing balls that should get intercepted, and they're not getting intercepted, and he looks good, and he looks comfortable. He's doing Rodgers. The whole thing is bull. Nothing in life is fair. If you have to... if you're trying to teach your kids why life isn't fair, just show them Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. It's not fair. It's not fair, PFT.
Well, we're too early on the Jordan Love thing, though.
No, I think he might be good. He looks so much better than he did at the beginning of the season. He's come along, and it's bullshit.
So he's handling it well is basically what we wanted to address there.
Poor Bears fans. Oh.
I mean, don't feel too bad. They're gonna get a.
They've got like two top 5 picks coming in.
A couple of them.
Yeah.
Right.
It was kind of quaint that we thought they were going to stink and he was no good for a while. We should have known better.
Yeah, because it's not a buffoon franchise. I've been saying that.
But at the same time, again, it's 3 games. I don't want to go too crazy.
But that was fun, right?
Yeah.
It was fun. That 45 seconds that we just played was fun.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah. No, the Packers games are fun. Listening to that is fun. Everything's fun. Football's fun again. Football was not fun in October.
No.
Zero fun, sir.
It wasn't that much fun last year either, if we're being honest.
No.
Well, because it was a lot of the same things, and then they went on a winning streak at the end, and it was fun for a little bit, and then they blew it again.
I don't think we put a lot of things on the poll today for Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We did ask you who's to blame for the poor officiating in the NFL. Had a really good conversation with Adam Schefter this morning about that. If you missed any of it, you can find it on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcasts. 75% of people are saying it's the league's fault. Are they going to do anything about it? Probably not.
No. But I think with baseball going to electronic balls and strikes, it's going to force them to clean up their act.
It's interesting take.
Baseball is going to dictate something.
Roger Goodell gives 2 bleeps about what Rob Manfred and baseball are doing?
Roger Goodell knows who Rob Manfred is?
No.
You know who gives a bleep? Are the people that bet, and they drive the league.
They're still going to bet.
I'm not stopping.
Wildy and Tosh is next on ESPN Milwaukee. Have a great one, everybody.
Problems continue on northbound 41. Not only do we have the 2 right lane